Thank you. Now I know how you felt, Isabella. Thank you. Thank you, Juliette. Thank you, Madame Président, Mrs. President. So many of us would have loved to call another lady Madame Président lately. Didn't happen. The world would be a better place. But while that other guy pretends to make America great again, this president has a chance to make European cinema shine again. Agnieszka Holland, you are the most fantastic, courageous third president of that academy that you served. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. A German fellow was your president for 24 years, and you can only blame yourself because you kept re-electing him. It was an enormous honor in my life. You never get an award from your own family. That doesn't happen. They pat you on the back and say, "Well done, boy, but you gave me this, and this is very special to me because I'm getting it from you." I'm connected to this academy now in its 37th years in different capacities. And I have to ask myself, honestly, why'd you give it to me? What did I do to deserve it? And I tried to dig deep. And I came up with an answer that I was amazed about myself. But yes, you laugh. It's not the usual answer about movies. And I want to say this to the entire academy because I realize it's an important lesson I learned in my life. And I want to tell it through 3 examples. Bruno Ganz, when we were starting to shoot Wings of Desire, was desperate. He said, "Wim, I don't know how to play this fellow. He doesn't have a biography. He doesn't have an unhappy childhood. How do you play an angel?" And I was a little bit at a loss, I must say. And I summed up everything I knew, and I said, "Look, Bruno, you just love people, and you try to be at their service." And Bruno looked at me and said, "Oh, thank you. I think I can work with that." And he did. This was the most selfless character I ever had in front of my camera. The angel that Bruno played with nothing than, you have to be of service. Jean Moreau came to join our shoot of Until the End of the World in the Australian desert. We had already shot for 4 months all over the planet, all over Europe and America, Asia, Japan, and we are there wasted when we arrived in Australia. And she was waiting for us with a whole suitcase full of books because she didn't know whether she would find books in Australia. And she, of course, didn't know anything about our cast and what we have done so far. So the first day of shooting, we rehearsed, like always. And our rehearsal had been very difficult. because our American star had always insisted that we rehearse, not on the set, but somewhere else, and rehearse as long as it needed so he could play the part. And for the other actors, that was troublesome because there are actors who want to shoot, and he continued to want to rehearse until everybody else was playing along to support him. So that happened again. And Jean Moreau, after a while, stood up and said, I don't know about you others, talking to our other actors, but I came here to serve this movie, and I'm now going to go to the set, and all of you who want to serve this movie, come to the set with me. And you, talking to our American star, you can try to stay here and improve yourself. And when you think you're ready, come join us. We're going to serve this movie. I had never dared to have this speech. And from then on, we had a different shoot. And I realized that's what you do when you make a film. You serve the film. The film is something bigger than yourself. The film is something bigger than the actor, the director, the cameraman. The film is something bigger. And it's only good if you commit to it. Thank you. I just got lost anyway. What? She keeps talking to me. What? You're more of a Japanese director anyway? Lately, yes. The third example is the guy you just seen, Koji Yakusho, who played a man who had lived a privileged life and decided to live a different life, a life of service. And he did it so unconditionally that we started to make another film. We made another film, and this was a documentary about this man who we had in front of our camera, who played the most selfless part. And he gave everything to this character and to the movie that he knew we wanted to make. And it became that movie because of an incredibly selfless act. And so it took a while for me to sink in, and it took sort of a whole career to realize filmmaking is not about being a genius or about being great or knowing God knows what, but it's about knowing that the film is bigger than you. And that's what I wanted to tell you as an academy too. This academy is bigger than each and every one of us, but each and every one of you can serve it. And Europe is in trouble right now, we know that, but each and every one of us, with the help of this academy, can ask yourself the famous Kennedy question. You know it. Don't ask what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the country. And I really ask you, I really urge you to think what you can do for Europe, because Europe needs you, the film community, to produce a more positive, a more emotional image of a continent that is lost a little bit in translation, because too many people think of it as an economic community or financial community, or I don't know what, but it's an emotional unity, and it gives us strength, and we should right now give it strength. Thank you.